What's going on, guys? Adam Snyder here with The Homemade Entrepreneur. Today I want to go over something that I think a lot of people are wondering about. Now, what happens when you have an eBay business? Now, there's two different people. One has an actual eBay business, which is making the money. The other person has more of an eBay job. Now, here's the reason why this is something that I wanted to go over. Because I want to show you what you might do versus what I do, and how it kind of differentiates being from a job versus an actual business. Now, one of the things you're going to notice when I go over this little whiteboard presentation behind me is that I run my business in a way that actually creates a business type atmosphere. Okay? I don't want to give myself another job. I have other things I can do. I have other businesses I run here online. So because of that, I don't have the time to create some type of job for myself. Yes, I love eBay. It's a lot of fun. I love selling on Amazon as well. I have a bunch of different passions that I absolutely love. But one of the things I really love to do is spend time with my friends and family. And because of that, that's the reason why I actually created a system and put a system in place for my eBay business, as opposed to just go buy stuff, list it, sell it, and do it all myself. So let's jump in the video and I'm going to show you right now how you can create a profitable eBay business, not a job. So let's talk about what most people do. This could be you right here. This could be you, okay? You buy stuff at a store, okay? It doesn't matter what the store, a thrift store, a retail store, department store, doesn't matter, dollar store. Okay, you buy stuff at a store. You then take that stuff and you create an eBay listing. And again, you're doing it all yourself. You create that eBay listing. Then when the item sells, you pack and ship the item, which eventually you deal with some customer service, and then you make your money. Now, that's all great, and that's a great business. It's a great plan, but here's the reason this is a problem, okay? Let me show you something. What if, for whatever reason, you were sick? Okay? You're sick, and you cannot list any of your inventory at all. You bought it, you can't list it. Okay, on eBay, this is not an option. You cannot buy something and have it sell before it's listed. Okay? Now, that's when you're buying stuff from a store. Okay? That's a big, and the reason I want to point this out is because that's a big deal. Okay? I'm going to explain that in a second. Okay? But what if that wasn't what you weren't sick? Okay? Maybe you went on vacation. And so you bought it at a store, you listed it, now you're on vacation, but you can't sell it. And the only reason you can't sell it is because if you sell it, who's going to pack it and ship it to your customer? Who's going to do that? You're on vacation. You can't do that. Okay? That's the difference between having a job. This model up here is you having a job. Okay? Which is not a bad thing. I'm not dissing on it. I'm just saying at some point you need to transition away from a job into a legitimate and profitable business. And this is what I do. Okay? So this is me down here. Now, this is a store, this is wholesale, and this is private label. Here's what I want you to understand. I do buy a lot of products, okay, overseas, plus I buy some here in the US. And these are products that are generic products, do not have a label on it. I will slap my label on it. Okay, sometimes I make little improvements. I do this exact same thing over on Amazon FBA as well, and I sell those products on eBay. Here's the cool part. I never have to go to the store, okay? Because of these two options right here. I can buy pallets of wholesale goods, have them shipped to the warehouse. I can buy pallets if I want to, or just a large quantity of private label products, which is what I do. Okay, I usually, for my private label products, I usually buy anywhere between 100 to 250 units, and that sells out between 1 to 2 months. Okay, which the cool thing about that is I never have to go to the store. Now, I absolutely love going to the thrift store. That's why I continue to do it. That's why I always talk about, and that's where I started, was yard sales and thrift stores. Okay, so if you're new to selling online, you're new to really making money on eBay, I highly recommend getting into the thrift stores, all right? Now, if you don't know what to look for, I put together somewhat of a, it's not really a mini course, it's more of a full-on course talking about how to list items faster, get more sales, get the most profit, and I also give you 67 plus profitable products you need to go out there and look for. So if you want to get into that, again, the course is called Thrift Store Profits. I'll put a link along with the discount code down in the description box below. So now that we understand that part, okay, we understand where I'm getting the inventory. Thrift stores, number 1. Okay, just retail stores, number 2. Wholesale pallets, number 3. And private label products, number 4. If for some reason I couldn't go to the store, I was on vacation, here's the cool part. I can still order more wholesale products, I could still order more wholesale pallets, and I could still order stuff online doing online arbitrage. Now that's something I don't talk a lot about because I don't do a lot of it anymore. I do more private label and I do more wholesale now, okay? But let's say, I'm good to go, I can go to the store, I can do all that stuff. But let's say I can't list, okay? So this is 50-50. I list products, my employee lists products, okay? Now, he's only a part-time employee, doesn't help me out every single day, okay? So a lot of times when I go to the thrift store and if I were to do this every single day, I'd have a surplus of inventory that he would need to get ahead with the next, I think it comes every 3 days, so the next day or two when he comes back, he'd have to get on all this stuff, list it. Otherwise it's on me. But if I couldn't list it, if I couldn't list any of my inventory, he could do it. Okay? And that's the cool part about this. That's the cool part about creating a business as opposed to just a job. A job, right here, it's all you. A business, you get somebody part-time. Okay? Maybe you pay them $50 a day. They're there, 4 hours. Okay? $50 a day, 4 hours, 3-4 hours. Okay? And they just list and list and list. And as they get better, instead of listing 10 items an hour, or 5 items an hour, maybe they're listing 15, 20, 30 items every single hour, which is what you want. 30, 40 items an hour, because that way, especially 30 items an hour, that means, okay, you're paying them, it's like, what is that, for every 30 items an hour, if they work for 5 hours, okay, you're getting 150 items listed every single time they're working. That's good. That's what you want. You want somebody that's actually going to move the needle, push your business in the right direction. The next thing, what if I was sick or I was on vacation? I couldn't ship, okay? No worries. My employee still can. He can still do that. He knows how to do that. Now, if he's shipping, that means he's not going to be listing, okay? So we're going to take a hit here. Right here, it's going to go down. But no worries. I'm not too worried about that. I'll come back and we'll fix that. Okay? Maybe I'll get somebody else in, another part-time person. Okay, I haven't done that yet. Okay, I'm still working on getting my eBay business kind of up to the numbers I want to be at. Right now, the cool part about it is it's pretty much streamlined and we have the system in place and we've been doing this for a little while that we haven't had any issues. I don't take a big long vacation. I don't go months at a time, and just go off the grid. Okay, I don't do that. Okay, if I take a vacation, maybe it's going to be 4 or 5 days. Okay, and I do that a few times throughout the year. It's not long, 2-week drawn out vacation. So because of that, this right here, we usually don't have any issues. Okay, here's the last thing. When it comes to making money, okay, I take all that money and I put it right back into the business. Okay, this business does not fund another business. Okay, the same thing with my Amazon FBA business. Is that business? We are not really funding another business. Those businesses we're just trying to build, okay? Because eventually this, account, my Amazon FBA business, like if you haven't seen one of my other videos, I'll put a link down in the description box below for it, but I actually sold one of my Amazon businesses, okay? So if you haven't seen that video again, I'll put a link down in the description box below so you can go check it out. Now, here's the thing I want to be very clear with you guys on. I'm not dissing, I'm not knocking people that just have an eBay job, okay? People that go to the store, they do their listings, they do their packing, shipping, all their customer service, and they collect their money, okay? I'm not dissing that. That's a great opportunity, that's a great way to make some money. What I'm saying is, eventually you need to transition from you only to you and an employee or employees have a system in place where if for some reason you got hurt, you're sick, you're on vacation, you just don't feel like working that day, your business can still run and it can still make you some money. I want to be really clear with you guys on this because I think a lot of people are struggling to create a system. And when I say a system, I'm not talking about you have to have an employee. You don't. Okay? You don't need to have an employee. But what you need is you need something that if for some reason you weren't there, your business could still grow in some way, some fashion. It might not be that you're going to be able to list more products or you're going to be able to ship more products that day just because you're out of town, you're on vacation, you're sick. What it could mean is even though you're not feeling well, you still have a system in place that every 7 days you know you need to buy another wholesale pallet. Or every 30 days you know you need to go back to this store and you need to buy this particular product because it's a replenishable. Okay, now in another video, probably in the next week, I'm gonna talk about replenishables, how I use them. Okay, because that's essentially what one of my private label products is. That's essentially what some of my wholesale products are. They're replenishables. They're items that you can use, that you need, every single day. For example, toothpaste. Okay, that's one of those items that I sell that I get from a wholesale supplier. And so every single month I reorder from them, and it usually lasts me, the month. Maybe a little bit longer than a month. But the cool thing about it is, I know every single month I'm going to buy this many because I know this many sell every single month. But that's the reason why I got into creating a profitable eBay business and not creating myself another job. Because nobody wants a job. People want to make money. People want to make money doing something that they love, something that they have a passion for. And because of that, I want to get you out of this mentality and get you into this. Think about a way to create a system for yourself, for your business, where you can go from, the idea, which is buying the product, to the actual solution, which is listing and selling, to the goal, which is making money. So let me give you some tips on how to make this a success, because I've talked to many people, I've coached a lot of different students on this exact same thing. And here's a couple things that I want to tell you that I tell them as well. The first thing is that your very first employee is probably not going to be the best employee, okay? I don't know how many people I've gone through that this didn't work out. They didn't know it, okay? And if they didn't know it, they weren't willing to learn it. Or they weren't willing to learn it, or they did learn it and they just weren't understanding it correctly. And there were so many mistakes when it came to shipping. Broken products, shipping to the wrong item, to the wrong address, to people that really haven't even paid yet. Okay, those are all things that happened. And so just understand your first employee might not be the best employee. Okay, but they're going to help you. They're going to learn, your ways. You're going to learn their tendencies, and eventually it's either going to work or it's not. And that's when you make the call whether you keep that employee or they're gone, you find somebody else. Okay, so tip number one, your first employee may not be your best employee, but they're going to help you move that needle. Tip number two, when it comes to creating a profitable business, as opposed to just giving yourself a job, is you need to reinvest your profits back into your business. And I say this because a lot of people don't do this. They think, oh, I just made, this month I made, $4,000. Cool. But how much of that went to your employee? How much of that was going to pay for eBay fees? How much of that is going to pay for shipping? Okay. How much of that is going to go to taxes, for your supplies, your boxes, okay, your eBay account? Maybe you have gas, other things like that. Internet, your office expenses. Okay, did you really make $4,000, or is that $4,000 like $800? Okay, what did you give yourself? Okay, that's what I want you to understand. If you don't know your numbers, you can't understand how much money your business is making versus paying out. You're gonna struggle. So tip number two, know your numbers. Tip number three, and this is something that I mentioned earlier, okay? Something I mentioned right here, is that you need to be able to predict how many sales you're gonna get, okay? And this is something you can't predict on every single product, especially if you're going to a thrift store, okay? You can't predict what's gonna be there. You just can't, Okay, I try to go into a thrift store, so many times a week, and especially different ones. And sometimes the thrift store is like bone dry. There's nothing there, but I still want to make some money, so I go look through the books and their clothing, and I spend a couple hours, and I come out with $50 that I spent on 10 things. Okay, and that's fine. But if I spend a couple hours and I only got 10 items, how much am I really going to make? So right here, you can't predict your sales. You can't predict your sourcing. But here, you can. You can almost guarantee you're going to get products, especially when you're buying private label, which again, I'll talk about that later on in another video. I'll even put, I'm working out right now, but eventually I'm going to put a private label and wholesale module inside Thrift Store Profits. So if you want to get into that, that will be part of it once it actually goes live. But that's the thing. With private label products and with wholesale, you can predict what's going to be there. If you know, okay, I want to get into the toothpaste game, cool, or the shampoo game, all right, you can do that. Okay, just buy from wholesale suppliers because they always have them. You don't got to worry about going to a thrift store and thinking, oh, I want to sell toothpaste, but the thrift store never has it. So what do? You go to Walmart, you can go to Target, you can go to the dollar store, but are you overpaying for the product at those places versus if you buy it wholesale? Yes. So that's why I like to buy it wholesale, because I can bring my cost down, I can make more money, or in some instances I can actually make money. Because you go to a Walmart and buy toothpaste, sometimes you're not making anything. Now the last tip that I have for you guys, okay, when it comes to creating a profitable business on eBay as opposed to just giving yourself another job, is you gotta think differently. Okay, don't think like a typical seller. Don't think that this is a hobby. Look at it as a business. Okay, from your eye view, how's your business going? Do you have 100 listings on eBay? If you don't, get to 100 listings. Do you have 250 listings on eBay? If you don't, get to 250 listings as soon as possible. Here's the reason why. If you don't have 250 listings on eBay right now, you're probably not getting sales every single day. It's just the way the numbers work. If you don't have 500 listings on eBay, you're probably not getting 4, 5, maybe even 8 sales a day. Now here's the cool part. Once you get over 750 listings on eBay, and this is just basic math. Once you get over 750 listings on eBay, you should be able to get at least 10 sales every single day. 10 sales a day. If you can average, so for me, my average profit in the past month has been like 14, 15 bucks, like 1481, okay? 1481 is my average profit per product, okay? Now, 1481, if you can sell 10 items a day, that means you'll make $141 every single day in profit, which is pretty good. $141 is pretty good, right? And that's after all the fees, that's after employee costs, it's after expenses, it's after everything. So, my advice to you, my last tip for you guys, get the listings. If you do not have the inventory, go buy more inventory. Go to the store, the thrift store, buy it wholesale, buy private label products. Get the listings up. Get them up. Because the more listings you have, the more potential sales you can get. The more potential sales you can get, the more potential profit you can make. All right? Now, I understand I talked about a bunch of different stuff, talked about where you might be, what I'm currently doing, how it's working, and kind of what I'm making, okay? But with that said, this right here, there's so many variations. Just because I say this is what I do, doesn't mean I don't do this every once in a while. That there are certain products that I will actually go to the store buy, I'll list them myself, I will pack and ship them myself, and I do all the customer service, I do it all myself. That's fine. But you want to have a mix between all yourself versus have an employee or have systems in place. So if you guys have any questions on what I just went over, let me know. You can always ask your questions down in the comment section below. Like I said, if you want to get in on Thrift Store Profits, learn what products I'm buying, how I'm buying them, what I'm paying for them, how I'm listing them and making the most money possible, make sure you check out Thrift Store Profits. I'll put a link with a discount code down in the description box below. So if you enjoyed today's video and want more videos on eBay and reselling, make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Like always, click that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Also, click that notification bell so you don't miss any more of my videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one.